Okay, sorry about that. Technical difficulties. It
Yeah,
happens. But consider
yeah,
this part two of the discussion. I was actually going to change topics anyway, but because I wanted actually, because I saw, forgive my stalking, but I just, because I follow Ian Hink on Twitter, and I saw that you were hanging out with him at one
yeah,
point
yeah.
in like, at like an arcade or something. You want to like just, what's the story behind that?
Okay, so the story behind that, so
Oh,
he was in town for Pride, for the Pride Parade in Chicago.
really?
And so he like sort of
Because I thought you
blasted
were in
out on Twitter.
LA, so I was
Oh no,
confused. I'm like,
no,
okay.
no. But so like he was in town, and so we had like a sort of like impromptu like EZA meetup.
Mm.
And it turns out like only it was like me, um, Britt, and Silent Consonant Brandon, and it was just like the three of us like hanging out with Ian like at an arcade.
That's really
So
cool.
it was like a chill time. It was really fun. It was
Yeah,
yeah, it was
I've
great.
only had something like that. I was at RTX 2014,
Mhm.
and my friends and I were just like standing in line across the street because there's like a burger stand, like just across the street, or whatever. And we're standing in line, and then like in walks the line. One of my friends goes, "Is that Greg Miller?" And we're like, "Oh, look!" It's like, because this is pre kind of, or it was he kind of funny was established, but he hadn't left IGN yet. And so like we
Okay.
all step out of line. He's like, no, 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 wait, just get your food first. Or like come one by one, just don't leave the line. And then we got our food and whatever. And he's like, I'm gonna sit by you guys since you guys seem to like know who I am. And so it's not like totally weird. And so we just hung out and ate lunch. And yeah, it's like it's so cool when you actually get to kind of sit down and just talk to people you admire because you realize like they're just people.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Like sit like
yeah.
oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like it's still exciting, but you realize like, oh, it's just normal dudes.
hmm Yeah, like what's it called? For the longest time I wanted to tell Ian that we that like I'm going to the school that he went to because like he also went to
Mm.
DePaul. And that
Mm.
like blew his mind. He's like, "What? You go like how's the film program there?" And so he asked me about that, and that was really cool. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
that also kind of brings me to like, what do you hope to do? Do you want to work on like internet stuff, or do you want to work in Hollywood and LA and all that? Or like, I guess
mm,
you can do both, but
but like okay, so I don't know. My interest has definitely changed since I started college. I remember like earlier on, I like really was set on working on online stuff.
mm,
Now it's not so much. I think I definitely want to be on more like movie sets. I'm not. I'm considering LA, but it's not like my like, go to like everyone else's is. Honestly, I think I'm gonna try and look into like Toronto or like
mm.
Vancouver, something like
Even
that.
like Austin,
Yeah,
Texas has a really good film
yeah.
scene. And try working at
Mhm.
Rooster Teeth. But like, I mean, because
Cool.
you kind of get both there, honestly.
Mhm.
Like, but I don't know. Like I was watching one of Bernie's vlogs from Rooster Teeth, and he's like, "You don't want to work at Rooster Teeth. You want to work at your own Rooster Teeth." But at
Mhm.
the same time, it's
Yeah.
like I kind of want to just work at Rooster Teeth. Like I wouldn't mind. I was just saying,
Mhm.
like because I was actually because I was curious because I've kind of been in that situation too, where I'm like, do I want to just do online stuff or do I also want to do film? And I watched Baby Driver.
Yeah.
And that honestly made me go, oh, I kind of just want to work on movies. You know, like that was the one that did it. Where I'm like, this just looks like so much hard work, obviously, but so much fun. Because to have something like that that's so fun, but also so intelligently made and produced and directed, and it's just like, I would love to just do that. I've been conceptualizing stuff in my head ever since I was in high school. Just like I'd love to see this as a
So
movie,
bad.
and I've kind of grown tired of waiting for what I want to happen to happen. I kind of just want to make it happen at this point. And now it's like
Mhm.
I'm coming out of college, so it might be a possibility of that at some point. But I think online is the best place to start for anyone because it's just so easy.
Mhm. Set your own pace. Do it from home.
I mean,
Smaller crews.
I try to keep a schedule, but these last couple weeks have been insane because it's county fair season in Nebraska. So I've been working a lot more than normal. So I haven't really been able to keep a consistent schedule. Not that it really matters because I don't have much of a viewership, but it's just fun. It's good practice because I would love to work for EZA, which I know is like one of the most unlikely things because, it's just like they're very not like it's kind of set. Like these are the people that are in it, and I couldn't really see anyone. I have a hard time seeing anyone being added to that roster unless they're very behind the scenes, which I'd be okay with, but but my logic behind like some of my videos is like best way for someone to hire you is to see that you can do what they can do, and so like I started my love letter series is like almost modeled after their reviews because it's like, well, I can edit like kind of not as good obviously because I'm just starting, but I can edit on like the same way or like do voiceover and write and do all of that, but except I'm doing all of it at once. So I'm like, maybe if they see that, then they'll see that I can be a valuable asset. But at the same time, it's like, I don't care. It'd be cool, but I'll work anywhere. That's, lets me do what I want to do.
And like start your own like easy allies sort of thing.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of difficult. That's why I started this podcast actually, is because like I look at, Kind of Funny's podcasts. I look at, the Easy Allies podcast, and I'm like, I look at that. I'm like, people would kill to be on those podcasts, but it's borderline impossible if you're just a random person. And so I figured maybe just give people a platform to, if they wanted to, like if they ever felt like, hey, that'd be really cool. I'd like to be on the EZA podcast. It's like, well, this ain't that, but it's a podcast pertaining to the realm of whatever they're discussing. It's like, so I figured if I can do what a lot of online people do, then maybe they'll see that and pick me up. Because I've also been talking to Bolin from Game Attack, and like they're still very young, obviously, because they recently went independent because they were part of Screw Attack, and then they separated from Screw Attack, but they were still part of Rooster Teeth, and then they just separated from Rooster Teeth, so now they're like all on their own. And so I was talking to Bolin from there, and he's like, yeah, we still don't even really have like the legal stuff figured out, so we couldn't hire anybody even if we wanted to. So I sent him like my resume and whatever. I'm like, I don't know why I'm talking about this like on a podcast. It's like the most humble brag that ever humble brag, but it's just like, it's kind of just like, it's relevant to the discussion kind of about like working somewhere. And I just see that as like, I'd love, because I'm just trying to get out of Nebraska. I just kind of want to work in entertainment, and that's in Dallas, and that's entertainment. And, I'm like, hey, I'd like to do my own thing because I'm lazy and I don't always work well with others, but because it's hard to find someone with similar chemistry in the middle of Nebraska, let me tell you. Yeah, but
totally. Anywhere even.
Yeah, I would kill for that kind of just kill. Like that's such a weird phrase, but because I obviously wouldn't kill somebody for that, but it's just a weird situation because I'd like to do my own thing, but at the same time, I really want to work with some of these people that I admire. So to tie it all back to where I started part 2, because I've been talking forever, it's so weird to actually meet those people you admire because because when I met Greg Miller, any thought of I want to work with him just kind of left my mind. I'm like, I'm just kind of talking to him. Mm-hmm. And so it was a very weird situation where I'm like, I wanted to ask, I'm like, how do I get a job at IGN? But then I'm like, I don't know, it's weird. We're just broing out. Who cares? So it is very weird to meet your idols, I guess if they're your idols, in a very casual setting where you're just hanging out. Because it's very humanizing.
Yeah, very humanizing.
I apologize. That was very confusing. I was kind of just, my brain was kind of just thinking out loud.
No, it's cool.
It happens. It happens to the
Yeah,
best of us.
yeah, yeah. I wanted to ask, what do you think of Baby Driver?
It's if I wasn't already a huge fan of Star Wars and The Dark Knight and everything, I think it'd be my favorite movie of all time.
Wow.
Like,
Okay.
not even a
Okay.
joke. Because I love music and I love cars and I love Edgar Wright, and you just combine all those things and you have just a movie ripped out of my brain.
Mhm.
Because like it was just like I wish this was a movie, and then it was a movie, and it was really good. And I'm like, oh, all right, this is the best.
Don't have to make that movie anymore. It's already done.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Seriously, like I was actually think because for the longest time I was working on a script for an action movie that is completely based around music that's synced up to the music, and then Baby Driver happens. Like, well, I could still do my thing, but everyone's gonna if I do it, everyone's gonna be like, it's like Baby Driver. It's like I had the idea before I watched Baby Driver, but that only made my idea made me even more confident in my idea. But yeah, it's.
Mhm.
Have you seen Dunkirk yet?
I haven't, but I saw you tweeting about that, and I was like,
Oh,
should I see it just for
absolutely
this
see
podcast? Watch it.
absolutely see. Like I've seen a few people complain about the sound mixing because it's very loud.
Hmm.
It's a very loud movie, but the theater I
Hmm.
saw it in, I thought it was very loud, but it felt like it had purpose because like every time there's a gunshot, you like jump out of your seat. But that's exactly the kind of thing they want you to feel is like the tension.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind having it be extra loud because creator's intent, as you would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so yeah, I'd recommend Dunkirk to anybody. Just at least try it. At least try it. And I was really bummed out because I couldn't see it in 70 millimeter because there aren't any 70 millimeter theaters in Nebraska.
Hmm.
So if I wanted to, I'd have to drive 3 hours to I think Des Moines in Iowa. So I'm like, I don't want to go to Iowa.
Hmm.
I don't want to drive 3 miles, see a 2 hour long movie, and then drive or 3 hours and then see a 2 hour long movie and then drive 3 hours back.
Hmm.
Midwest living.
Understand.
You know it too, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Anything you want.
Lots of driving.
Yeah. Because I was taking a Japanese class a couple of years ago, and we were supposed to like film. We were supposed to do like film a project or something like we were supposed to rent camcorders and film. I forget exactly what it was. Just a project in Japanese, and I was filming in my car when I was driving home on the highway, and the teacher's like, "You were filming while you were driving?" I'm like, "It's a 2.5 hour drive of just almost nothing because it's Nebraska." I'm pretty good. Like it's okay as long as I'm paying attention. I'm pretty good. Yeah, like half the people in the class were just stunned because half of them are from like, you know, East Coast, West Coast. A lot of people. I was surprised at how many people are from like California and whatever that came to Nebraska. Like it's cheap because a lot of my friends that are from Illinois came to University of Nebraska Lincoln because like it's cheaper than the University of Illinois. So.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a really good journalism school. So I'm like, okay. Because broadcasting is in the journalism side instead of the arts.
Yeah.
Because film is in the arts, broadcasting is in the journalism side. So, of course, it's the one building that takes the longest to get to from campus. Lucky me. Like the one thing I decide to do requires the most walking and like, oh my god. Like I know I don't want to like it doesn't really matter. This is all off topic. Who cares? Like at this point, who cares if it's a random
Fast and loose.
Fast and loose.
Fast and loose.
I'd say it's even more off topic than Frame Trap. At least Frame Trap has structure. But Benmore does such a like. I'm not even joking when I say like I respect everyone who hosts podcasts just anywhere. Like Damiani, Ben, Kyle. It's because sometimes you just struggle to think of stuff to say or like how to move on, and it's just like I don't think I could be a host if I was actually on like a panel. Like if this wasn't my thing, I would not want to host it. I'm a bad host. I'll admit that. But anyway, like how are your classes? Are your classes like really long like mine are?
Yes, because we're only so we function on quarters, on like 10-week quarters. So
Mm.
each class is like an hour and a half at least.
Oh, wow. Well,
Yeah.
do you do it like once or like how many times a week do you do it?
I think it's twice a week.
Okay, because
Wait, no, wait, like an hour, and it's like an hour and a half for if it meets twice a week, and then it's like 3 hours if it only meets once a week.
I see. Because I had a TV. There was a class called
Yeah.
TV production where we had to like produce our own stuff in class. It was once a week, but it was 5 hours long.
Mhm.
I wanted to
Yeah.
die. Because it was like where all the really fancy like there was the big cameras that were actually used for like TV. It was TV production. We were filming commercials and sketches and infomercials even and stuff like that. And so it was like everyone in the class had to do their turn, and basically we operated like everyone was a crew member and you rotated positions so you could learn everything. So one day you were camera 2 and then you were on the TriCaster and then you were the teleprompter guy. And then the next day you might be the on camera personality and or the director or like camera 1, stuff like that. But every week, once a week, 5 hours, that was a death sentence because immediately following that, I had a 3 hour long film history class. And that was just, uh-oh. Yep, that's frozen. I think, I don't know. I'm going to wait it out. I'm just going to do the outro. I'm ready to end it. I think it's just like, this is getting a little ridiculous. I'm not like mad. It's just like, man, I like talking to this guy. Hold on a sec. Sorry, I'm just talking to him. We're just on Twitter because his internet's brutal. Okay. Yep, he gave me the green light. Sorry about that, everybody. I know this was pretty marred with technical issues. It happens when you're online. It just it's bound to happen every once in a while. I don't blame anybody. There's no one's at fault here. Don't get mad. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at him. I'm not mad at anybody. But if you watch this, thank you very much. I'm Wade Ronspies. That was Matt Calera. That you just stuff happened to him. Like unfortunately, he could not stay with us the entire time. But I enjoyed talking to him. Absolutely. He's a film guy, just like me. Loves video games. Loves Easy Allies. But that has been episode 6 of the Community Podcast. The Community Podcast is a podcast where I grab members of individual communities, whether it be Easy Allies, Game Attack, Screw Attack, Kind of Funny, whatever, really. Honestly, as long as we can have a good discussion, there's no structure whatsoever. It's just a good old-fashioned conversation. In fact, I don't even know if I can call this a podcast. It's more of just a discussion with members of the community. So if you'd like to be a part of this, leave a comment down below. Tell me what community you're part of. And just, let me know that you're interested, and I'll try to get in touch with you either on like messages on YouTube or maybe drop an email address. Your Twitter name. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Like Post Malone said to Jake Paul, we'll figure it out. But until next time, it's been a good old time. I'm all sweaty because I get all worked up when I'm talking about that Zelda Rito Village. But until next time, see you next time. That's an awkward. I'm just gonna stop.